Greetings, everyone. It's fall again here in Minnesota, and that means it's time for Sukkot, the festival of booths, which we Jews celebrate. At least in the northern hemisphere, it's in the fall, and the southern hemisphere would be spring. But anyway, Sukkot, the festival of booths, and the little booth that we sit in called a sukkah, which I'm sitting in right now. The shkak, the covering of my sukkah this year, is made from branches from a tree that was taken down by a great big storm this summer. Which just goes to show that God does provide what we need if we're open to thinking outside of the box. Anyway, today I'm going to share a story which I call the Great Sukkah Bust. Now, this actually happened in Minneapolis back in the 1980s, and I know the people it happened to, but for the sake of privacy, I'm just going to tell it as a generic story. And it goes like this. There was a Jewish family moved into a neighborhood where there weren't really a whole lot of Jews. You know, neighborhoods shift around and different groups move in and out. And so they were among the first few Jews, I suppose, to be in that neighborhood. And a nosy neighbor had noticed that they were making some kind of strange little hut in their backyard. And as they watched over the next few days, there was a little hut goes up. They saw them put branches on the roof, up there. Couldn't figure out what in the heck this was. They got to thinking, well, it is October. Maybe it's something to do with Halloween. So they continued to watch this as it got built and decorated. And then one night, they heard strange chanting in a language they'd never heard before. There were candles flickering, people pounding on the table like a drum, and then they heard a baby cry. Oh my gosh, I don't know what they thought. Maybe it was some kind of pagan sacrifice or whatever, but being the nosy neighbors they were, they called the police. And the police, I suppose, figuring that if a child was in danger, that's probable cause, came up to this, creeping up to the sukkah, guns drawn, and came in and found a couple of Jewish families having a feast, singing songs and telling stories to their children. Well, after holstering their guns, they asked, "What is this?" And the Jews explained what Sukkot was and what a sukkah is, invited the cops to have a drink with them, but they were on duty, so they said no thank you. But nevertheless, they got a very nice multicultural education about the Jewish festival of Sukkot. Now, this is one of the reasons I strongly support multicultural education. We can laugh at a story like this, but it's important that we understand each other's customs and each other's cultures, because there's all kinds of crazy stuff floating around out there, ridiculous conspiracy theories about Jews and other people. And if we learn who we really are, meet each other face to face, we find that we're just people like everybody else. And this is also one of the reasons why I translate everything in my videos. People ask me that all the time. What do you translate it all for? Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, Sukkot, the Harvest Festival. Why do you translate the Hebrew? We know what these things are. Well, most Jews do know what these things are, but that doesn't mean everybody on YouTube knows what they are. And I want to be as accessible as I can so that I can share our teachings and people will understand what we're doing if they see a little hut in our backyard in the fall. And with that, I'm going to wish you a Chag Sameach, a happy holiday, a happy harvest, and may we all live together on this planet in beauty, joy, and peace.